Let me see you put 'em up. Reach the sky, touch the stars up above. Cause it's one time for the underdog. One time for the underdog. You got the world on your team. Even if that ain't what it seems. It's one time for the underdog. One time for
Back to my channel. I wanted to do a I'll start with the story time because I'm gonna be filming a lot today. I'm gonna start with this story time. So I want to do a little quick story time about 7-Eleven story time. I know you guys requested more McDonald's story times, but like honestly, I can do that. Now that I think about it, I can actually do that. But yes, here's the story of 7-Eleven. I don't know what I'm naming this story, but it's going to be my extremely inappropriate manager. I think that's the name. So when I was working at 7-Eleven, I only worked for 7-Eleven for maybe, I don't know, a year, 6 months. Honestly, I have no idea. Check my resume, I have no idea. But I did not work there for a long time. It was a second job that I had taken on, and I was an after-school counselor as well. After-school counselor stories are some stories I should tell y'all. So basically what happened is that it was someday, and if you have the it was someday, whatever. If you have the 7-Eleven app, basically they have those promotional things, and it's like free Slurpee, smalls fry, whatever, small fry, free Slurpee, free silly straw, free like bag of chips, free hot dog, like whatever. So what happened is that there was some day going on, and we had ended up getting a huge shipment of sandwiches, and they came on overnight shift, and overnight leaves at 7 in the morning. So they came overnight shift like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they were supposed to be like handed out throughout the day from like 7 until midnight, I guess. So basically we get in CDC, and we had no idea about it because like 7-Eleven isn't a company that's gonna send you an email and let you know. So like if you have the 7-Eleven app, like it would tell you, but like if I wanted a Slurpee, I would have just took a Slurpee. So like I don't need a free Slurpee, so I didn't really have that. So this these containers come, they're pretty high up, they're a little bit taller than me, there are a bunch of different sandwiches, and it's like, I was like, would we having a party up in here? But like at that 7-Eleven, there were like maybe 20 employees, so I'm like, yo, who's eating all of this? It's kind of crazy. Whatever. Okay. Alright, so that happened, and then I was working with 2 girls at the time. We gonna call A and B, I guess. I don't remember their names. Oh no, I remember their names. Oh, but I can't say their names. So I was working with these 2 girls, and these 2 girls, they're dope, and they were like interesting. They were interesting to say the least, but I love them, and they were like my favorite people to work shift with, and we were always on overnight together, so it was really great. And when we get the sandwiches, we're unloading CDC, and I'm talking to B, and I'm like, B, that sounds so mean. I'm talking to girl B, and I'm like, yo, girl B, what are these sandwiches for? She's like, oh, I don't know. Then girl A checks her app, like her 7-Eleven app, and she's like, oh, they're giving away free sandwiches. I don't know if it was for like July 4th or like 7-Eleven day. Like, I have no idea why. They were just giving away free sandwiches, which sounds weird, but it wasn't even like the sandwiches we sold in the store. It was like these other sandwiches. I know that doesn't sound like an important fact to like most of you guys, but like, no, like it was a conundrum to us. Like, what are these sandwiches about? So we didn't know what to do with them because you couldn't unload the sandwiches onto the regular shelf display because they were not for sale, they were free. So we didn't know what they expected us to do with them, put them in platters. No one had said anything to us. So basically what happened was we ended up taking them and we stuck them all in the fridge. So the fridge at 7-Eleven it's like a fridge freezer, I guess. It's a little bit interesting. Basically it's like if you open the, like they have, okay, damn, how do I say this? So, you know how you have the container, the whatever for all the sodas and like drinks and like coffee creamers and everything like that? Basically, it was like that. But and if you reach far enough behind, you could basically, I don't know, like tickle somebody that was in the freezer. It was like that little area behind the drinks and stuff. So we went to we went behind and we wheeled it behind and we put it in. So my boyfriend at the time, Nick, sorry. My boyfriend at the time, Nick, he used to live in the Bed-Stuy area, so he used to come overnight sometimes and he'd help me out. He was super adorable. Let me see if I find a picture. I'm kidding. He was super adorable, and what he would do was sometimes like he would carry heavy stuff for me, and he would carry heavy stuff for me. He would clean stuff, like, whatever, so I wouldn't have to clean it at the work. And I'm like, yo, you're going to get me in trouble. There are cameras. I know they watch the cameras and whatever. So I was always, like, really cautious in thinking I'm, like, he's going to get me in trouble one day. Jesus. So, basically, like, no, but he was like, oh, Nick, he's a real one. So basically, we spend the whole overnight shift not knowing, like, we a little hungry, whatever, we want to taste one of the sandwiches. This was back before I was vegetarian, so, like, they had a turkey one I was really interested in. But we didn't touch any of the sandwiches. So then, in the morning, my manager comes, and the girl that, like, basically in 7-Eleven, you can't leave until the person that was set to relieve you comes in. So I think it's like that at all fast food jobs. So the girl that was coming to relieve, but we kind of decide, like, who, like, if a girl comes in, we'll be like, all right, B, you can go, or A, like, it's our decision. It's not like the manager's decision. So this girl comes in, and I'm like, oh, okay, and A is like, oh my god, is like, oh my god, I really have to do whatever. Or was that B? One of them was like, oh my god, I really have to do something for whatever. So can I please take this one? And because that person had came in like a little, right, like 10 minutes early. So we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. So she goes and she changes, and then she clocks out after she changes. So it's like she clocked out for the exact right time, and then she leaves. So the next girl comes in like exactly on time, and B is like, okay, well, can I take this one? And I was like, yo, whatever, honestly, I didn't care. So she took it, they switched. So now I'm the only person left for overnight, and everybody else is morning shift. And basically the third person that was supposed to come in calls, and she's like, I'm gonna be a little late. And I was like, okay, fine. I wasn't really upset because it was overtime-ish. But whatever. And it was holiday, so fine, whatever. So time and a half. Now basically what happened is I was behind the counter, but I had already counted out my register and everything. And you like write on a piece of paper. It's like a form you fill out, and it's like every night it's like how much did you start the register with, how much did you end it, what's the total sales, and they check it against your like register calculations. My stomach is hurting. They check it against your register calculations and see if you stole money, if you came up short, if you came up over, whatever. So I had already did that, and they had already put 2 fresh like trays in for those girls. So I couldn't be behind register, so I'm on the floor just straightening stuff up, trying to wait for this other girl to come. Now, what happens is the manager comes in, and he was tall. He was like Arabic-ish or whatever, and he was tall, Arabic. He was like kind of slim. He was maybe in his 40s, and I would say he was like 6 feet tall, 5'10", something around there. And he says, yo, he basically says, can I show you something? And I said, sure. And I'm thinking he's bringing me, so he starts walking towards the back, and I'm thinking he's bringing me into the office, his office, but he's not. He makes a left, and he turns to the freezer. So he opens the freezer to open the door for me. I go inside, and he goes in, and I'm like, oh, he's probably talking about the sandwiches, like, oh, we should have probably did something with them. And he's like, oh, So he stops by the sandwiches, and since I walked in first, I'm here and he's here, and the door is behind him. And he leans on the sandwiches, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a relaxed position. And I was like, maybe he's being like obnoxious, like, oh, you really think these belong here? And he's like, oh, so did you notice these sandwiches? And I was like, yeah, I'm the one that put it in the freezer, because we didn't really know what to do with them. They weren't marked for individual sales, so we couldn't put them on there. He's like, oh, no, it's fine. You put them in the freezer. It's fine. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you. It's fine. Leaning up against the sandwiches, and I told him that they were marked for individual sale, and that's why we put them there. He's like, oh, no, it's fine that you put them there. And I was like, okay, well, cool. So then he comes to me. Like, he doesn't come to me, but he's there in front of me, so, like, whatever. So then he starts talking. He's like, oh, so I think you're really beautiful. And at this time, I want to say I was 19, 20. And I'm looking at him like... So, you know when a man compliments you, especially someone that's so much bigger than you, because I'm 5'1", so much taller than you, so much bigger than you, and they say something like that to you, as a female, your first thing to do is look around, because you're just like, what are the exits? What's going on? So, of course, you can't see into the freezer because of all the product. But I'm like, maybe shout through some cartons of milk, help me. Maybe I could have did some of that. But so he's telling me, he's like, oh yeah, so I want to take you out. And I looked at him, I was like, for what? I don't know why I asked that. He's like, yeah, we can, so I'm really sarcastic. Warning. So he's like, oh, we can go get something to eat. And I'm like, I'm looking around, mind you, we're surrounded by food. And I was like, get something to eat. We seem like we good here. Like, what you want, some nachos? We could do this right here. Some chili. Like, we got chili, we got hot dogs. Like, what would you like to eat? Like, sir, what would you like to eat? I got a whole plethora of options. He's like, no, like, I could take you out for a sandwich. He's leaning on a crate of he's leaning on a big crate of sandwiches. And I'm like, oh yeah, so like, which flavor you want? We got sandwiches. He's like, so then I'm pointing at the stuff. So he grabs my arm, like, not like here, but like here. And he turned to me, and I'm like, he's like, no, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go. This is way past, like, this is not even my shift. And I literally, like, kind of pushed past him and walked out the freezer. Thank God the 7-Eleven freezer isn't one of the ones that, like, got closed from the outdoor. But, from the outside. But it, like, has a latch on the inside that you could pull and you could open. I checked for that the first day. I was not trying to go out, like, 1,000 ways to die. Nope, no hypothermia in this. So I leave and I go and, I just literally grab my stuff and I clock out. And the other girl hadn't come in yet. And I just said, like, I was just like, all right, I'm out. Like, this got too weird. No, we're not doing this. You're not attracted to me, sir. You're old enough to be my father. Goodbye. So I take it and I just take my stuff and leave. I said, okay, bye, guys. And the other girls are looking at me like, okay, but I guess they're thinking that maybe he told me I could go and that's what he was telling me for, like, paid thingies. But I was like, the money not worth it. I gotta go. Goodbye. Adios. So I left, and that was like it. I do have other that was like the most creepiest encounter with that manager. He did, after that day, like, he made little advances, but like that was his most outward advance, and that was his most outward like oh, I'm attracted, like, that was that was the boldest move he ever made. And I guess since I just, like, literally was like, he didn't make any more that bold, but he did, like, make a little bold. I should have probably informed my boyfriend, but he was never in the same room, like, he was never in the same area as my manager. He lived in the area, but, like, I'm trying to keep this job. And 7-Eleven paid weekly. I was trying to keep that job. I wish I had a job to pay weekly now. But yeah, I never really mentioned it. I don't think I've ever mentioned it to anyone. And now I'm kind of mentioning it to the whole wide world, so it's interesting. But thank you guys for watching, and you guys will definitely see me, your girl dessi.jay, a little bit later, a little bit later, lady, a little bit later. And yeah. No, okay. So let me know definitely in the comments if you would. My dogs. Let me know in the comments if you would like more 7-Eleven story times, or just like more story times about me working in general. Right? Working. I'm ready to retire. Anybody else ready? Come in the section if you ready to retire, because I'm ready to retire. And if you have your own 7-Eleven or creepy manager stories to share with me, your girl dessi.jay, you know, comment it below. I would like to eat chips and read through my comments and like giggle about certain stuff. So I haven't had a lot of them lately, so it's hard to giggle. You see where I'm going with it? It's kind of hard to giggle. Yeah. So comment below. Bye guys.